much pasta and lasagna and pizza did you eat getting ready to voice Garfield?
Oh my gosh, so much. It was painful, but worth it.
You are obviously very familiar with the making of the Jurassic Park movies, Jurassic
Yes.
World. Scarlett Johansson has just signed on to lead the new franchise.
Did she sign on to do it?
She is, I think it's talks, but
That's what I heard.
I think she's doing it.
Okay, good.
So my question is, what advice would you give her in terms of fighting dinosaurs and being in one of these kind of movies?
Oh man, just enjoy it. You know, its acting is embarrassing. She already knows. What advice could I give her? She's like the highest grossing movie star of all time, I think. Her or Sam Jackson, something like that.
Sam.
Is it Sam?
Yeah.
She's a pro. I couldn't give her any advice, but if she forced me to give her some advice, I would say understand that it's pretty embarrassing to act opposite things that aren't there. And have fun. Enjoy it, and let me know if you have any questions, and I'll be eager to go. I'll be the first in line to see the movie.
So I know you like to go, everyone knows you like to go full method with your movies.
Yeah.
Definitely. So my question is, what was it like, or how much pasta and lasagna and pizza did you eat getting ready to voice Garfield?
Oh my gosh, so much. It was painful, but worth it. You sacrifice for your art.
Of course.
Yeah.
So one of the things I'm very curious about is when did you decide to actually take over the voice acting, all of it?
When did I say I want to do it all? Oh man, that's very funny. I'm grateful, man. I'm blessed. I feel thrilled to be a part of any of this stuff, let alone all of it. And yeah, you know, this is just the beginning. If there's any childhood characters that you loved, I'm coming for them. I'm coming for them.
But I am curious though, how would you describe, how is it similar and how is it different when you're voicing like a Mario versus a Garfield?
Right.
And what do you think would surprise people to learn about the process?
Well, the difference between Mario and Garfield was, I was doing, like, Mark Dindal, who's the director of Garfield, approached me and he said, and it's funny because I was doing Mario at the time, and I was doing a slight affectation on my voice as Mario, even though people were like, you just did your own voice. I'm like, I don't know, really, it's slightly different. But then Mark was like, I want your voice. I was like, are you sure I can't do something slightly different? And he's like, I've been doing this movie for a couple years now, and I just want your voice to come out of his mouth, because every time I picture him, it's your voice that I've always pictured. I was like the first guy he came to, and I said, all right, that's great, I'll do that then. And so, yeah, I think the big difference and what might surprise people is that it takes a really long time, that you have huge periods of time between each of the sessions. Each of the sessions are only about between 3 to 4 hours long, but you might do 20 of them over the course of like 2 years. And so it's a slow evolution. And here's the biggest thing, and what I love about doing animation, you don't know what you're sitting down to see when you watch the final cut. You may watch a couple of edits, you may see some like storyboard stuff, you may see some like rough assemblies, but it's not anything like what it's gonna look like. Unlike a film, when you're on set, you understand what the set looks like, what the costumes look like, the people's makeup, you're there, you're watching the movie, you're like, I had a vision of what this would look like. And so in that regard, when you watch a movie that's a live action movie, you're never really an audience member. You're always on the other side of it. You're giving it to the audience, but you're there. You remember the days that you shot each of these pieces. With this, it takes about 2 seconds before you just get swept up and you become a member of the audience, because so much of it is a surprise.
Well, also, a lot of things with animated movies change through the production.
That's right.
So that's my next question is, did you go through a lot of iterations of this, or was it pretty much what from the beginning, it's what you thought?
In my experience, which would be with Lego, we started filming before we had the second and third act written. And with Mario, they were still working out the second and third act when we started. With this one, they had a pretty strong understanding of exactly what this movie was going to be. This was the most cohesive vision for a film, of animated film, that I'd ever been a part of. So in that regard, made it a little bit easier, because I knew what was coming, I knew what to expect, and we just went in, got what they needed relatively quickly, and then when I was coming back, I was just doing little touch-ups, small pieces of writing that were like rewrites, but for the most part, it was completely exactly what they imagined.
Terminal List, huge hit for Prime Video.
Yeah.
You guys are working on the prequel series right now.
Yes, we are.
Are you, because I know it's more like Taylor's character.
It is, yeah.
So my question is, are you like a cameo in this thing, or are you in all 6 or 8 episodes?
I'm not in all 6 or 8 episodes. I'm certainly in the first couple, but ultimately becomes Taylor's story, Ben Edwards' story of how he gets, persona non grata out of the Navy SEALs and brought into the ground branch of the CIA. And once that happens, it's his story. And so we're currently filming in Budapest today, right now, and we've already shot the pilot, which I've already done my work on. And so now my baby is out of the nest and flying on her own.
I got to go with you, but just real fast, if I can ask, I'm looking forward to Mercy, and I'm just curious, what was it about that project that made you say, I want to do this besides Rebecca Ferguson, who is amazing?
She is amazing. She's incredible. Timur Membetov, I worked with him on Wanted. He has an incredible vision, working with Chuck Roven, who's an Oscar-winning producer, and the script was one of these scripts that the minute I picked it up, I didn't put it down until I was completely done with it. It's wildly fresh. It's so inventive. It's absolutely original, which I have to say is more and more rare these days. So the story is incredible. And it shoots in Los Angeles, which is a big deal for me because I'm a father and I want to be home in time to tuck my kids into bed. So that was a big part of it too.
Thank you, sir. This is going to be a huge hit.